MC Spano, the CEO and co-inventor at ForceField. In a world where we have to question what we see and hear, ForceField is keeping things real. Our patent-pending algorithms verify, validate, and authenticate content for companies and creators. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm MC Spano. Today, we're going to be talking about the issues of trust in our post-trust society. ForceField is solving a problem for disinformation, but not the way you think, and not how most platforms are solving it. Disinformation is the top economical risk for the next 2 years. This is the biggest short-term threat we have as a nation, and estimates show that by next year, 90% of what we see online will be AI-generated. With all of the money going into generative AI, there should be no challenge that cybercrime is costing us $1 billion per minute. And CBS News on October 7th, 2023, could not verify 90% of the videos that they got in because of source data missing. MARQ technology solves not only for disinformation, but manipulated evidence and deepfakes. As I mentioned, my name is MC. This is my third company and the most important one I've built. My two other exits were in industry-agnostic, bootstrapped companies. And my team is mostly from the DoD and NSA space. The co-author of our patent currently is at the Connecticut State Police and works with the FBI. Our technology is also endorsed by Techstars DC. We went through their cohort. MIT, we just presented at CSAIL for AI integrity over the summer, and we went through the Solve Lab as well. But we don't just secure streaming data. We secure video, photo, and audio. And the old way of securing or proving any type of source data was doing a really lengthy and expensive forensic process. But with digital forensics, it can now be automated. So we do real-time data verification, much like DocuSign. And we have a web and mobile app that can also verify information as you're posting or collecting it. MARQ technology is an app, a web extension, a portal, and a digital certificate. We use ledger technology to authenticate timestamp and location data. Our app uses digital forensics and cryptographic hashing. So believe it or not, we're not using AI to detect AI. We'll leave that to other companies. Our ledger stores secured metadata for up to 7 years. We audit in real time, and then within a 60-second window, we basically have verified metadata that could be used to mirror and prove the original metadata had not been tampered with. A certificate of authenticity is then awarded to the content. And then, just to prove how easy it is, we have a demo for everyone. A non-hacker was able to deepfake, in the minute and a half I've been speaking, a video for everyone. Deepfake tools are so cheap and inexpensive and easy to use that even my 16-year-old daughter did a deepfake of me. And now we'll go back to the slides and we'll see what the output of that deepfake was.
This is so cool to be here at TechCrunch with all of you rad people. We needed this in the Matrix to tell what's real. This is the red pill. And they are right. No one has ever done anything like HashMark. That's why it's going to work.
So just a little illustration of how easy it is to deepfake something in less than 2 minutes. Our technology prevents, we don't specify detection. So we're there in real time. We're there as data is being collected, and we're signing and streaming it. Our hash marks also prevent content spoofing, reduce deepfake fraud, and we also secure data from any type of loss during a breach. But we're not alone in this AI arms race. Some companies are focused on watermarking, where they attach credentials and they track provenance. We're establishing chain of custody and immutability. In a reactive cat and mouse game, there's detection technologies using adversarial AI, but then you have to keep up with the threats that are able to deepfake or shallow fake content. And in the AI arms race, we're focused on the first leg. So we're doing preventative measures in real time, and our technology works on any IoT device. So our patent was written from a BlackBerry to a robot, and then real-time detection also does real-time protection. With watermarking, which is the middle leg, it's credentialing. So Adobe and Microsoft have formed the C2PA. The Content Authority basically helps people determine provenance and where something is shared and what system it was created on. And with reactive technologies, it's the most competition. They've raised $400 million in total between 6 companies, but that's not a long-term solution. Our revenue model is based on verifications, licenses, as well as metadata storage on our ledger. And currently, to date, we have 2 other products that are in market. We have InsureMARQ and ProofMark. InsureMARQ, we have a leading insurer who's an investor who is paying us to create a proof of concept for an auto insurance app. In that case, when people take photos of their car or an accident, we're able to authenticate that it is real. And ProofMark can secure streaming data from a surveillance camera or even a software platform. I'm just going to run through these slides really quickly. With proof data, our metadata that we collect has geospatial intelligence built into it. So we're not just here for provability, but we're here for solvability as well. And we address several cyber standards in a $1.36 trillion market, and $81 billion for regulatory needs around technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ForceField, bringing Keanu Reeves to disrupt. That's impressive. Judges.
The last slide we didn't get to see. It was sort of on traction. I was wondering if you could spend a little bit more time there, and particularly sort of across the products that you outlined.
I think it's actually hard to bring up the slides now. Can you tell us what's about your traction?
Yeah, and scalability around that.
Yeah, sure. So we filed our patent in December of 2021. Our IP dates back to December of 2020. It's an international patent, so we've already gotten a response from US and international PTO. We went through the MIT Solve Lab as well as Techstars. We wrapped up the accelerators in 2023. We have several different investors, a celebrity, Deborah Messing, who cares about name and likeness for celebrities in Hollywood. Lightspeed Venture Partners was an early investor of ours. And we also just took on 2 institutional investors. We have a pre-seed round open now.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about go-to-market. So who are your customers? How do you find them? And how do you get people to pay for this?
Sure. So we have a distribution strategy. We are linked in with 2 different distributors who would basically do our API as a service through their customer base. We're also, one of our institutional investors is a solutions platform for insurers. And so we would basically layer in as an SDK and an API for their customers. Our insurance customer is one of the customers that they work with. And then also Security Executives Council, we're in talks with them to pitch to Fortune 100 CISOs or their trust and safety teams about content moderation and generative AI safety online.
How do you choose between all those segments, where to spend the most time?
Good question, because we've gotten interest from the DEA, Forensics Lab, military CIDs, AFWorks. For us, insurance was a really smart fit. It just makes sense. It's also a distribution play for us because we're on X number of mobile devices. The true value for our customers comes in our metadata because we can share device information as well as if they did submit something fraudulent. So we're not looking at the who. We protect privacy. We're looking at the what, where, and when of the content being submitted or collected.
How do you protect against the sort of existential risk of your, call it equivalent of root certificates being, compromised in some way? Like, how do you?
Yeah, we're working with Hyperledger, and so our tech team is currently working that out for. I would say there is a threat of spoofing the certificate or even the web address, but we have a solution around that, and that's just for HashMark. Our other products, because of our timeliness of our signatures and hashing, it's nearly impossible to spoof the system itself.
Can you talk about whether there are any industry or perhaps even government like NIST standards coming out with respect to this type of security? Yeah,
I'd love to. So Trustmark certification came out with the the White House last summer. They were talking about IoT data security. But it's more about privacy, not so much is that data secured and immutable and stored so that it's accessible. really quickly. The reason I founded the company was because I was assaulted in New York City and I had to collect the evidence to bring it to the police. I had the burden of proof. And a lot of people have the burden of proof. Even in courtrooms, 90% of the cases use digital evidence. What they're looking for is a secure chain of custody. But devices these days aren't built to secure the chain of custody. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is your third company. Obviously,
Yeah.
you built in different spaces. You said, I'm just curious what were some of the biggest lessons from those prior experiences that you brought now to ForceField?
So before my first company, I was working as an analyst on Wall Street from the age of 19. I was in 9/11, went through World Trade Center that morning, so I took a package from Citigroup, started my first company to heal the community. It was a wellness business, just celebrated its 21st year running. Award-winning studio in New Jersey, sold 2 more times. I sold it at a 12x return. Second company was an agency, did a lot of NGO work, kind of on the right side of media. Won some awards there, but left to make a difference as a consultant, and that's when things happened with ForceField. So I would just say, like, I followed my gut as a founder, and I always believed if you build it, they will come, and I still stand by that.
Talk to us about the magic part of the demo when you put it in front of customers. What is the aha moment where they say, I need this?
Yeah, people almost cannot believe that we can secure real-time data as it's streaming. But yet with DocuSign, they're able to secure and also credential the user and device as they're signing a document. I think a couple years ago when we were first pitching, we were a little early. Investors didn't really know what we were building. And now with the advent of AI and all of the money going into Gen AI safety is part of what we do, but it's really about transparency, and it's really about democratizing access to solvability and provability.
Final quick question. All right, give it up for ForceField.